Our next speaker is probably someone who I'm most anxious to introduce. In October, when I first was researching my speech and the history of our club members, and I went back to 1964. This was one of our first chartered members, and in 1967, he was the first telespeaker to become a DTM. In 1969, he became runner-up in our Toastmasters International Speaking Competition. Later on, he became one of our district governors. In short, he's done it all. He retired at 40. He was the first president of Metrotown, and he's a survivor. In the past year and a half, he's had a heart attack. He survived throat cancer and a ruptured spleen. Please help me welcome up our original telespeakers member, Ron Drain.
Thank you very much, Bill, Mr. President, and ladies, gentlemen. I didn't do the spleen, it was really the appendix that exploded. This suit is just a camouflage for my body. It looks like a Wolverine with a crushed testicle intact. I've got a deep reaching on that after, probably. Well, thank you for the comments about the history. We all have had our times in the sun, sunny days, but let me tell you, Telespeakers Club provided me with many sunny days, but it was not always that way. Back in 1955, the telephone company got a new messenger boy. There was no messenger persons then, a messenger boy. $5.48 a day was the salary. Gas was 17 cents a gallon. So I was a messenger boy, and the first day in the job, the CT&S, or the supplies people, took me, turned me upside down, and shoved me into their garbage bin. And I came out and I said, you know, there's got to be a better way to break into this company. Oh, 24 years later, 11 different jobs. I left the telephone company with a few dollars and owned the largest neighborhood pub in the province of British Columbia. Back in 62, 63, we were talking about a speakers bureau for the telephone company. We got our act together in 64. In 64, there were, I believe, 68 people who wanted to sign up. 44 did sign up. Within the first few sessions, we tried to follow the Toastmaster pattern, but there were people who signed the document with a little ulterior motives. Maybe their application looked good on their resume. Maybe this, maybe that. They're short-lived, they're gone. We had an awful lot of fun in telespeakers. Of course, things have changed dramatically. But we were invited to be part of the Speakers Bureau from the United Way, the Cancer Society, Big Brothers, name it we have. In fact, one memorable time I want to remind myself of, because things have changed a bit. Back on Powell Street in Vancouver, there was a garment district there. So I was acting on behalf of the United Way. I was asked to speak to about 150 members of the garden industry, and I thought I was doing a fairly good job, looking for receptive faces, looking for them there. They think I was talking to them all. Then I sat down, and the place erupted. I never had a reception like that at all. I said to the manager, "What did I say that was so well received?" He says, "Sir, they were told to clap when you sat down. Not one of them speaks a word of English." We never had any emails, Googles, anything. I went for a holiday one time with a couple of speeches in my back pocket, and not a paid holiday. I paid for it. Went all the way down to Oregon, and the gentleman at the end of the speech says, "Young man, if you talk like you are talking now, you won't last 2 or 3 minutes and your voice will be gone. You've got to speak from the diaphragm, not the throat." Now I have half my throat left, but I still have the diaphragm. And the spleen's still there, by the way, with the appendix went out. Anyway, he told me that in another speech I was making on Kingsway, where they used to have the mail order for Sears. I was asked to speak to the 2,200 employees about whatever the topic was. I arrived, 1,200 in this audience, no mic. I always remember that evaluation, speak from the diaphragm. We increased the value for that year, which has happened. I appreciate so much the people who have given me encouragement and mentored me and get me to know my speaking style. That came through one time when 10 of us decided to assault the sailing record from Victoria to Maui in a 72-foot sailboat. We were assaulting the rest. We had the finish line right in our eyes, 5 miles away, and there was 45 minutes to go. They were yelling at the skipper. I was a grinder. I'm a little guy, but I don't wear out. Remember that, my good wife. He was yelling back to the skipper, "Take down the number 2, put up the number 1, etc., etc." The guy turned to me, the skipper, and says, "Drano, I just don't know what to do." I turned to him to his Toastmasters and I said, "Look at my friend, we're here because of you. $100,000 was spent because you said it. You make the decision, and you don't listen anymore." And he didn't. And we won. I'm very proud of it. Another notch, $10,000. I say thank you for this telespeakers. Thank you for the many constructive comments, for the abilities to learn. Thank you for the opportunities to meet the interesting people like our main speaker tonight, the honored guest. When he spoke to us in the hospital one time, I'd never be a chair of a hospital board if it wasn't for this club. So thank you for the huge personal benefits I've received in giving to others also, and the thing that makes you live longer, proven more healthy, and more content. And that is that simple, free gift giving to others. So when I go to the great lectern in the sky, the Ralph C. Smedley Fund will be a little better off for a gift from myself. Bill?
Thank you, Ron. You certainly had a lot of great experiences. We have something for Ron. Just get it ready. I'd like to ask Ron to come up and help present this. It's a plaque for Ron, and it's a honorary lifetime membership to telespeakers. Ron?
Welcome. And Mr. Ron Green, we appreciate your dedication, and we would like to offer you this honorary lifetime membership for all you've